What up, my awesome listeners? This is Ryan Lee here, and today's topic is let's talk about that 9 to 5. Because here's the thing, having money to invest is great, investing is great, starting your own business is great, all of that is great, all of that costs money. And what if you don't have money to begin with? This is where that 9 to 5 really does come in. So let's talk about that. The 9 to 5 is something that pretty much you have to go through unless you're born with a silver spoon or you have inherited a lot of money. That's a different story. But if you're like the majority, then you're gonna have to go through that 9 to 5. But it doesn't have to be misery all of the time, because if you go through the 9 to 5 with a plan, you're constantly motivated when you go to work. Here's the thing. Back in the day, when I used to go to school, I wanted to go to school in order for me to stop going to school. Where after I graduated high school, my goal is to go to college back then. Pretty naive. But money-wise, I'm pretty set, so that's good. So let's just say when I entered college, it was the same goal. The goal is to stop going to college. And now that I have a 9 to 5, it's the same goal. The goal is to stop going to the 9 to 5. But it doesn't mean that it's aimless, because for a lot of people, the 9 to 5 is where they stop. It's where they peaked, basically. They climax and they start buying things and they started just abusing money, if you want to say like that, where they're trapped now. They can't go anywhere because they don't know any better. That's the sad part. So here's the thing. When you click on this video, I'm going to assume that you do know better. If not, okay, you will know better. So when you go through that 9 to 5, go to it with a plan of eventually stopping, and not like when you're 65, retire or something like that. Let's just face it, 401k, that's a thing of the past. So let's focus on the present, let's focus on the future. And the future is that you need to use the money that you have from the 9 to 5 to actually make something. Because if you don't, then you're gonna be stuck with that 9 to 5 until you're dead. That's pretty much it. The age of retirement is increasing as time increasing. There are people into their 60s still have to work. Exactly. Let that sink in, folks. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to be like them. And of course, there's this giant FIRE movement, where that's also great too. But here's the thing. That typically happens with people that have 6-figure jobs. If you really look into it, a lot of those people have high position jobs, very stressful job, but very well paid jobs. Now, what if you're not like that? What if you don't have a well paid job? What if you are in the catch-22 of, hey, I want a well paid job, but I don't have experience, and you guys need experience. In order for me to get experience, I need to get a job. That whole thing is a whole nother video for a whole nother day. So this particular video is assuming that you actually do have a job. You do have a 9 to 5. It pays roughly 20-30k a month. No, that's too much money. Not a month. 20-30k a year. There you go. That probably sounds more like you. So assumingly that you actually have that job, that 9 to 5, you go in with a plan every single day. So now it's time to budget. Does that word sound familiar? Budgeting. Where you need to allocate enough money where you can save and invest, and then having a little bit of fun now and then. Of course, life can't have fun, life not worth living. So there's a small percentage, I say roughly 10-15% is allocated towards fun, and then about I would say 30% dedicated towards expenses. That leaves you with 55% towards investment and savings. Assumingly that you can actually do that. So that's what you want to have the mentality of, is that whenever you enter in that 9 to 5, you want to have a goal of leaving eventually, of leaving soon. So it doesn't mean that every single time you have a 9 to 5 job, you're going to hate it. Because I know people, I myself included, that have a 9 to 5 and I like this job. It's a nice job. It's a good job. But it's not something that I would see myself doing forever. That's just it. So the way how a lot of these sort of personal finance people frame it is that, oh yeah, let's give the 9 to 5 a middle finger. Let's, quit working a job that you hate. They try to build up this sort of tension where you feel angry for going to the 9 to 5, and then the way how you solve it is to buy their online course, is to buy their book, is to buy something that they're selling you. Which, in business, it's the nature of the beast. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm saying it's a business. And I'm telling you like how it is. It's a business. Most of those guys are living off of your income. If they don't have enough people like you to buy their stuff, then they don't have income. If they don't have income, then they're gonna have to go back to that 9 to 5. So there you go. That's how those sort of personal finance people kind of frame things as. Where the way how I would look at this is, don't burn bridges, okay? Don't give people middle fingers when you leave, because here's the thing. You don't really know that the moment when you leave, you're just suddenly going to be better off. You truly don't know that. So leave on a happy note. Say, oh, this is a pause, it's not the end. It signifies that you might return someday. And when you do get that 9 to 5, I'm not saying be a kiss ass, but I'm saying be tolerable, where people don't mind you being there. So you want to develop some kind of relations with those people that are in the 9 to 5, because you never know if one of them has a bright idea and all they need is a little bit of cash where you can invest to their company and you guys can take that company to the next level. You never know. Something like that might happen. So if you go into the 9 to 5 hating everyone, hating the job, it's not going to be beneficial to you at all. And when time comes, let's say when it's time to actually quit the job, giving everyone the middle finger, like those guys say, it's just not good. It doesn't make any sense. Burning bridges is never, ever, ever a good thing. So don't do that. Leave on a happy note. Make it a pause, because you never know if you might need to return. And move on with your projects. Move on with the things that you really wanted to do, and then see where that goes. And then compare it with the job that you used to have before. See if that's worth it. And then if you do find something that's better, go ahead and pursue that. If you find a job that you like more, go ahead and take it. It's not a bad thing. 9 to 5s aren't meant to be soul sucking unless you make it is. Because if you go into a soul sucking 9 to 5, here's the thing. They can hire you all they want. It's your decision to accept it. And if you accept something like that, well, that's kind of on you now, isn't it? So you have to look at it from that angle too. And then the last thing is that if you ever feel angry about the 9 to 5 and looking for a way to escape, buying a product, spending more money is not the answer. Yes. Let that sink in as well. Spending more money on a product will set you back. It won't move you forward because you're now spending money. So think about it that way too. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't subscribed yet, click on the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to become part of the Mighty Notification Squad. And of course, as always, you guys stay awesome now.